Hi, you're watching Hexes TV and we're down here in Bloomsbury in London at the EA Winter Games event. I'm going to be taking a look and a playthrough of Dante's Inferno, and Jonathan Knight, who is the executive producer for it, is going to take over. Over to you. Microphone to you.
Great, thank you.
Right, this one.
So we've dropped you into the second circle of hell. This circle is called Lust, and it's the first of the 8 sins that people are punished for in Dante's vision of hell. So the game is basically a sort of loose adaptation of part 1 of the Divine Comedy. This is a 700-year-old epic Italian poem about one man's journey through the afterlife. So yeah, in the game you take the role of Dante. He's kind of our reimagined version of the medieval poet.
Oh, what was that? What was that? What did I just do?
So you're fighting the temptresses, which are sort of somewhat sexy but strangely horrible all at the same time. You're fighting demons and the minions of hell and everything that hell's got to throw at you. Be careful, mash B or she's gonna suck you in and it's gonna be ugly. There you go, well done. So you've got basically 2 main weapons. You've got your scythe, which is that big blade, and then on the B button you've got the Holy Cross. And the cross is kind of a ranged weapon. There you go. Well done. Grab that guy with the right trigger. Yeah. Now punish him.
I pushed the wrong button.
You're doing quite well.
This is my first time playing, guys.
He's doing very well. The great thing about the game is you can pick up and instantly play it. It's very accessible. You mash buttons, awesome things happen. The more you get into it, if you're a hardcore gamer, there's a lot of depth to the combat system, a lot of moves and combos and all kinds of layers to it. Careful here, she's about to put her fist through the wall.
What do I do? Oh, I was in the air.
Get ready with RB. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I see, I jumped on the ledge.
Jump to safety.
Okay.
So this is Cleopatra. You know, in the original poem, Dante mentions Cleopatra, Helen of Troy, some of these classic mythological historical figures that were guilty of lust in life, and so they spend eternity in hell suffering for that sin. We chose to single her out and make her kind of the boss of the level. So she's a giant naked woman scaling the outside of this tower, and you're racing her to the top to rescue Beatrice. And Beatrice is the love of your life. She's the reason you're fighting, and she's your reason for playing the game, really. So if you press LB, you're going to open up your magic abilities. So here he's like twice as fast. Hold down LB and press Y. Yeah.
Y.
Yeah, that's the righteous path. That's one of your holy magics.
Oh, get lost, woman. Worse than my wife.
Okay, now get ready. Here comes Cleopatra again.
It's a very dark game, this, isn't it? It's very...
It is. It's definitely for adults. It's not for kids. It's dealing with pretty mature themes of sin and damnation. And
we got imp spewing breasts.
yeah, so she spawns unbaptized children from her nipples. Well, according to the medieval mythology, unbaptized children spend eternity in limbo, which is the first circle of hell, and so that's where you'll first encounter them in the game, and then we've brought them back here in the second circle for a reprise. Try jumping in the air and holding the B button down. That sends everybody flying up into the air.
Right trigger, right trigger. Oh, I pushed the wrong button again. Right.
Good job, you ripped him in half. So that's a punishment, and I don't know if you saw, but you earned 10 unholy points for that. You can also absolve your enemies with the cross, and you'll earn holy points for doing that. And over the course of the game, you actually level up down either a holy or an unholy path. And, it's up to you if Dante's going to fight more as sort of a holy crusader, doing the right thing, absolving babies and so forth, or is he going to fight like a punishing, brutal, savage warrior and earn more moves with the scythe and so forth. So it's really kind of up to you.
And B, absolve. Now what do I do? Right trigger again.
You got to do it faster. It's a very fast-paced game. X.
Too slow.
Now,
right trigger.
the whole thing is, it's a little bit more work to absolve, and that's deliberate. Like life, it's a little harder to do the right thing, but ultimately the reward's greater. You're going to go down the holy path faster if that's what you choose. So this is sort of an action puzzle here. She's holding the platform in place with her hand, and what you need to do is knock it away. I recommend that magic righteous path. If you do LBY, yeah, or that one, that's good too. Now quickly run to the left and jump up, and you'll be able to get to a switch before she puts her hand back.
Right button for the switch.
Yeah.
And now knock her hand.
Now do it again on the right side as quickly as you can. Again, I'd use magic. Yeah. Don't worry about the babies. They're just in the way. Throw that switch. And now you've torched her torso.
And off she goes, nipples and all.
Yeah, and that's the end of the demo. That's just a little slice right in the middle of Lust. Obviously, the battle continues, and you'll have the ultimate showdown with Cleopatra, and then on to gluttony, greed, anger, heresy, violence, fraud, and then treachery, which is the 9th circle of hell.
That's the 9th circle of hell. Okay, so what gave you this idea to do this game?
Well, you know, I wanted to do something really dark. That was, you know, obviously kind of the first thing. And from there, you know, I started doing a lot of research into the medieval vision of the afterlife. That was kind of the topic that I was interested in. And, you know, when you read about that period in history and sort of the medieval mythology around the afterlife, there's kind of one name that rises above everybody, and that's Dante Alighieri. He spent a long time writing this unbelievable epic poem describing like what it would really be like if it was a real place. It's very fantastical. There's rivers and forests and monsters and demons, and there's a whole city, and it's just like, it's like Lord of the Rings in a way. It's just so detailed and so mapped out that it just jumped out at me like, we got to bring this to life in a video game, and so we just kind of went from there.
Okay, and when's the game due out?
It's due out in Europe February 12th, 2010.
Okay, and what about things like, well, I see you've got a downloads button there, so what are we going to be seeing in there?
I cannot talk about that. You weren't even supposed to comment on that.
Every single person I've said, what about downloads? Everyone's go, oh, we're not going to comment, we're not going to comment.
Yeah, we just don't have anything working. Obviously, we're going to be looking at what we can provide for the game after it comes out, but like we just don't have any details on that right now because it's not working, frankly.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. And what's your favourite point in the game? Someone playing it, what should they look out for?
My favorite thing about the game is, without question, is the variety and the depth to the 9 circles of hell. Like when I play games like this, I want to always be surprised. I want like the next level to just, you know, have all new stuff, and that's exactly what the game provides. Each circle of hell is like an all new world. It's new art direction, new enemies. The creature design is amazing. The gameplay is always changing up from level to level, and there's bosses and sub bosses. There's platforming, there's like great adventure moments, the story's incredible, and each circle brings Dante's sins to life, the sins of his past, and it all comes together in an incredible story. So it's basically just an amazing ride, and it never once gets boring, and that's what I love about it.
Fantastic. I hope you take this as a compliment, but having played the game, the look and feel of it to me is slightly off skew and disturbing in the same way that the hell scenes in the films Hellraiser were. They were just that surreal, very visceral kind of feel, which I hope you take as a compliment, because I think that's what you're trying to aim for, is to basically leave people thinking, oh, this is a bit, you know, it's kind of disturbing, but in an enjoyable way. Is that how you intended it to be?
That's exactly how it's intended to be. You know, we want people to have a good time, obviously, but the subject matter is dark. It's disturbing. It's hell. You know, like if we took our foot off the pedal on that, I think we'd disappoint people. And you know, at the end of the day, it's a fantasy, and I think people get that. It's definitely not a game for kids, and so yeah, I want you to kind of like be a little bit sort of, you know, like hesitant at certain parts in the game and be a little grossed out. Like it'd be weird if you weren't, but it's also not intended to like thoroughly turn you off. So we're trying to strike that balance between, you know, satisfying, I think, what people expect from the game, but also not going too far that it's just like a put off.
Okay, fantastic. So there you go. That's Dante's Inferno, due out in, I completely forgot, January, wasn't it?
February.
February. Yeah, February the 10th, 2010. Yep, so coming out in 4 months. You've got 4 months to get this ready.
It's coming soon. We're finishing strong. We're just putting the last bit of polish on it, fixing all the bugs, and we'll be ready in February.
More blood, obviously, though.
More blood, yes, absolutely.
More blood, pieces of spleen and liver going all over the place as well, with a bit of luck. Okay, there you go. Check back soon on HSTV for more from the EA Games Day down here in Bloomsbury.